You wake up in a small, fog-covered town where the streets are silent except for the distant tolling of the clock tower. Today is not like any other day. You are no ordinary resident. The townspeople whisper stories of shadows that move without reason and a mysterious figure seen only at night. The fog clings to your clothes as you step outside your front door, a sense of anticipation and unease filling your lungs. You arrive at the scene, greeted by Officer Bennett, who has been waiting for you near the iron gates of the manor. "It's terrible," he says, his voice quivering. "Mrs. Abernathy was found dead in the library. The air is heavy with the scent of old wood and leather-bound books, and the dim lamplight casts long, wavering shadows on the walls. The library is pristine, yet the lifeless body of Mrs. Abernathy lies sprawled across the floor. No blood, no signs of struggle." You kneel to inspect her, noticing a folded note clutched in her hand. Your mind races, analyzing the cryptic message as your eyes scan the towering bookshelves, the fireplace, the ornate rug, and the velvet curtains. A faint smear on the windowsill catches your attention, almost invisible, as if someone attempted to wipe it clean. In a corner, a small bookshelf appears slightly ajar. The pages are fragmented, mentioning a visitor and strange noises in the night, but provide no concrete information about the murderer. The townspeople's whispered stories echo in your mind. Footsteps heard in empty hallways, doors opening on their own, and shadows that do not match anyone's movements. You decide to interview the staff. The maid, Mrs. Dalloway, insists she saw a figure in the garden at midnight wearing a hooded cloak. You notice the anxiety and hesitation in their eyes, small cues that could reveal hidden motives or secret alliances. A single chair is slightly pulled out, and on it rests a silver letter opener with a faint stain. A creaking sound from upstairs interrupts your thoughts, and your pulse quickens. Opening it, you find old photographs, letters, and a delicate mask with a sinister smile. The mask seems connected to the murder, though its meaning remains a mystery. You step into the moonlit garden and notice footprints leading to the fountain. You retrace the steps of the staff, the townspeople, and the mysterious figure seen in the night, trying to determine who had access to the manor at the critical hour. The night deepens, and distant thunder rumbles across the town. You rush back inside, where the study contains a map of the town with several locations marked in red. You gather your notebook, flashlight, and key, and step into the stormy streets toward the tower, every sense alert, aware that the murderer may still be nearby. You approach the clock tower, your boots squelching against the cobblestones, and notice a figure at the top, barely visible against the stormy night sky. You creep closer, cautious of every shadow, but the figure vanishes just as you reach the door. You ascend slowly, flashlight sweeping across the walls, every sound amplified by the empty shaft. The window is open, curtains flapping in the wind, and then you hear it, a whisper. The hooded figure steps into the lantern light, revealing someone familiar, someone you had never suspected. You realize the killer has anticipated your every move, leaving clues that seemed random but were actually a challenge, a game meant to test your deductive skills. As you examine the papers scattered across the floor, you discover a journal with coded messages, cryptic notes, and half-finished calculations. The mask you found in the attic reappears here, placed deliberately on a chair as if mocking your efforts to solve the case. Descending the spiral stairs, you step cautiously, aware that another trap could be waiting. You interview the staff again, this time with sharper focus. Mrs. Dalloway, the maid, confesses she knew more than she initially revealed. She had overheard the killer talking to a mysterious visitor, but feared revealing the truth. The puzzle becomes clearer, yet the tension grows as you realize that the killer might still be watching, waiting to strike again if you make the wrong move. You decide to set a trap, arranging evidence in a particular way to draw the killer out. The storm outside masks any sound you might make, yet you remain hyper-aware of every movement. The killer steps forward, inspecting the clues you've strategically left. You confront them verbally, your voice steady but firm. The killer confesses, slowly unraveling the twisted plan behind the murder, revealing secret alliances, betrayals, and the dark obsession that drove them to commit the crime. You record every word, knowing this confession is vital for solving the case completely. The killer is restrained, the staff and townspeople are safe, and the mystery is solved. The mansion looms silently behind you, its shadows long and mysterious, but the truth now rests in your hands. As you walk back to your small home on the fog-covered street, your mind replays every detail of the night. The cryptic note, you realize that being a detective, even for just one day, requires not only sharp observation, but courage, patience, and intuition. The morning fog begins to lift over the small town, revealing the cobblestone streets and shuttered windows. Who else had access to the manor? This time, you pay close attention to subtle hints. Mentions of secret meetings, names crossed out, and underlined words that seem inconsequential at first glance, but may reveal motives. The diary references the gathering and a location near the town's old lighthouse. Before leaving, you interview the staff again. Mrs. Dalloway, the maid, reluctantly reveals that she had overheard Mrs. Abernathy arguing with someone about the heirloom weeks before her death. The diary entries now make sense. Someone had been following her, watching her every move, trying to anticipate her discoveries. Mr. Hargrove, the butler, admits he noticed the hooded figure multiple times near the library windows, but did not report it, fearing the consequences. You document everything carefully, realizing that even seemingly minor details could reveal the culprit's identity. You notice footprints partially washed away by rain, leading you closer to the shore. At the top, you discover a hidden room behind a false wall. Suddenly, a shadow moves across the room. Their motive is revealed in fragments: greed, obsession, and a desire for control. You carefully cross-reference their confession with the diaries, letters, and your own observations. You return to the town, questioning townspeople who seemed uninvolved before. Each clue brings you closer to the full picture, the complex web of deceit that led to Mrs. Abernathy's death. The confession is slow, deliberate, revealing layers of deception, secret alliances, and hidden motives. The mansion, once filled with shadows and whispers, now feels like a stage where the final act of this drama is unfolding. You gather all the evidence, set a careful trap, and wait. You realize that your role as a detective, even for just one day, has brought you face to face with human cunning, fear, and ambition. The final night descends over the town as you return to Harrow Manor, your notebook brimming with observations, your mind buzzing with all the clues gathered so far. The storm has passed, leaving a stillness that feels almost unnatural. Every step you take on the cobblestone path toward the mansion echoes in the silence, each echo amplifying the anticipation and tension in your chest. Inside the manor, the air is thick with the scent of aged wood and dampness. Each object, every shadow, even the smallest crack in the floorboards could hold a secret. Its meaning becomes clearer as you trace the pattern of clues, the footprints, the diary entries, the mask, the hidden compartments, all leading to one pivotal location, the grand ballroom. The grand ballroom, once a place of celebration, is now eerily silent. And then you notice it, a faint reflection, glinting off something metallic on the far side of the room. As you approach, your heart pounds in anticipation. Inside, the final piece of the heirloom rests, along with a folded letter revealing the true extent of the murderer's obsession and the twisted reasoning behind their face, illuminated by the moonlight, is a mixture of defiance and panic. They falter, realizing that the meticulous plan they had constructed is unraveling before their eyes. In an attempt to silence her and secure their plan, they orchestrated her murder with precision, leaving misleading clues to confuse anyone who dared investigate. The accomplice, a previously trusted staff member, had aided in minor diversions and subtle manipulations, ensuring that the trail of evidence remained confusing and fragmented. With the confession recorded in your notebook and corroborated by physical evidence, you secure the heirloom and ensure that both the murderer and the accomplice are restrained. Officer Bennett arrives, relief visible on his face as he takes custody of the culprits. As you step outside into the dawn, the first golden rays of sunlight illuminate the town. Being a detective, even for a single day, has required not just sharp observation and analytical skill, but also courage, patience, and unwavering determination. You walk back home, the town gradually waking, unaware of the dark events that had unfolded under the cover of fog and night. One day, perhaps, you will share this story with others, a tale of shadows, whispers, and human cunning, a story that proved that even the quietest, and as you finally close the door behind you, notebook safely tucked under your arm, a calm settles over you.